They are not James Harden. And the role that James Harden plays right now, he's moved from the shooting guard position and he wants to play that point guard position, meaning he wants to be the facilitator. So late down the stretch, guess what? I'm going two-man game. I'm emptying out the side, and guess what? James Harden is not going to have a problem deferring to Embiid on the low block, which he's unstoppable. And guess what? If they try to come double team, kick out, you got James Harden nailing the three or whatever the case may be. Here's where you're wrong. Here's where you're wrong. Let me ask you a question. Who's the leader in that Brooklyn Nets locker room?
Well, that's a good point.
Answer that.
No. I have no answer for that. You got me there. I have no answer for that. But I will come back with this. Hold on, I'm going to come back with you on this. You talk about James Harden and what James Harden brings to the table. First of all, he's a bit heavier. He's older. He's slower. Now, mind you, 22, 10, and 8 in his sleep. This brother's out of shape and was busting people's butt last year. I know what James Harden is capable of. I believe in the brother's skills, but I would also remind you this. In Brooklyn, you got Claxton and Jones and others, even Blake Griffin and them, in pick and roll situations. You understand what I'm saying? And obviously, they're not, hold on, wait a minute. All right, or pick and pop, screening for them, et cetera, et cetera. They ain't looking for the ball in Brooklyn. Embiid ain't doing that. Embiid want that damn basketball. Embiid want that damn basketball. So excuse me, are you sure that Harden with Embiid is going to work? Because of their skill set and how much they want the ball as well.
Yes, I'm sure, because we saw James Harden adjust his game, Stephen A., when he got to Brooklyn last season. Did James Harden not become the point guard last season?
Yeah, but who was he playing with? Playing with Kevin Durant is a little bit different than playing with Joel Embiid.
No, the hell it isn't, because when you talk about the two most skilled players in the game today, right now, today, it's Kevin Durant and Joel Embiid.
I'm talking about how different their games are. Not how great they are. I know they're great. How different their games are.
What's different? What's different about it? Joel Embiid is a center that does guard things. You show me a center that's out there doing.
The blasphemy!
He's
you got to be crazy. He's not like that.
Are you crazy?
When Kevin Durant shooting a sniper like that from three, are you crazy? Are you crazy?
I'm not just talking. You're just talking about the three ball, Stephen A. I'm talking about the mid post. I'm talking about the mid post area, the one-legged fadeaways, the pushing of the rock euro stepping down the lane. I'm talking about the variety, the complete package on the offensive end. Let me ask you this real quick.
Yes.
Okay, but let me ask you this real quick. Let me tell you another reason I don't have faith in the Brooklyn Nets and why I still feel like Philly won this trade. Guess who? Another person I don't trust over there. I don't trust Steve Nash. And he's gave me every reason in the world not to trust him. By the way, the Nets are on the 10-game losing streak right now. By the way, he don't know if he can hold Kyrie accountable because he might receive a text message. He might receive a text message the next day saying that I'm not going to show up to work, or he might have to find out on IG Live. I don't trust Steve Nash.
Hold on. What I'm saying is this. I don't trust Kyrie Irving. I don't blame you for not trusting Steve Nash. Kevin Durant, definitely some leadership issues because, again, he defers to Kyrie instead of leading entirely too much, because that's part of the reason that James Harden wanted out, because KD going to roll with his brother, Kyrie Irving, instead of James Harden, so why James Harden needs to be there. But we also can't ignore what struggles, particularly in the postseason, James Harden has had. We have to remember the fact that the pressure is elevated significantly for him now that he's in Philly under the conditions with which he has arrived there back-to-back years. Not back-to-back years. Actually, it was back-to-back years. Forced his way out of Houston, now forced his way out of Brooklyn. You got all of that stuff going on. You got pressure on Doc. You got pressure on Daryl Morey. And you gave away Steph Curry and Andre Drummond. We can't ignore that. That does matter.
Okay,
By the way, how about the problems that it's going to cause Tobias Harris? Because Tobias Harris was a second option, giving you 20 a night. Now he's the third option.
Let me know.
You don't know how that's going to affect
He needs to be a third option.
I agree.
He needs to be a third option.
I didn't say that. I just say how it's going to affect him. We don't know.
But listen, Molly, Stephen, let me ask y'all a question.
Go ahead.
Okay?
And then I got one.
When it comes down to looking at the Brooklyn Nets, right?
Right.
and we come down and we start to think about everything. We start to think about Steve Nash. We start to think about Kyrie Irving. We start to think about the lack of confidence in Ben Simmons. Okay, I look at it as the same situation. You look at Golden State and you look at Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins got motivated and got leadership over there. Now he's an all-star. They don't have that same type of leadership unless he's going to follow Kyrie lead and be sitting Indian style burning sage around the Philadelphia 76er arena before they go play them on the road, I guess, in March. That's the type of
March
leadership
10th.
he's going to have.
Yeah.
I need a leader. I need a leader. I need a leader. And they don't have one. They don't have one. The Brooklyn Nets don't. Joel
That's
Embiid
fair.
is a leader, though.
That's fair.
Danny Green is a leader, though.
There's no argument there.
Okay,
There's no argument
here's
there.
what I need to know from both
None.
of you. This is all I care about. Where am I going to be in June?
Probably. Well,
Go ahead.
my hope
ahead.
would be Miami.
No, your hope's Miami.
My
That's cool.
hope would be
Okay.
Miami.
Okay.
I really, really.
Okay.
Especially since I'm missing the Super Bowl, which
Yeah.
I'm very disgusted
Sad
about.
for you.
I really, really need to be in Miami in June.
Okay, make up for
I
lost
really
time.
do.
All right, cool.
But if right now, I
Yeah.
reserve the right to change my mind. Right now, my choice would be Milwaukee.
We're going to be in Milwaukee.
My
Okay,
choice would be
cool.
Milwaukee.
Okay, I'm going to get a tour of the city. Can't wait for that. Perk, where are you? Where am I going to be in June?
What, you gonna go around the corner? They ain't got much of a tour.
You know what? It's hard. I believe that it's going to be Philly and Miami in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Okay.
It's hard to go against them goons, but I think that Embiid and James Harden, motivated, hungry for a championship, two of the best scorers in the game today, I think they could overpower the Miami Heat. And I think we'll be in Philadelphia in June.
Interesting.
I will
well,
say
you got
this.
the key to the city to Philly,
I
right?
do have the key to the city.
Good, you can
I
pay
will
for
say
dinners.
this about Philadelphia. James Harden is in a beautiful situation for a reason nobody has brought up.
Okay.
After what the city has been subjected to with Ben Simmons, James Harden, as much pressure as he has on him, he will never be embraced anywhere. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.